Well, they just didn't have it tonight. Avs lose to the Dallas Stars 3-1. Probably going to keep this one pretty short as there just isn't a whole lot of quality to talk about for the Avs in this one. Right from the get-go in this one, it was clear the Avs did not have their legs, and based on the game with Anaheim from the night before, I don't blame them. While the Avs did dominate the Ducks in the first half of this back-to-back, it was a one-goal game all the way through, and to continue that domination for the full 60 minutes, it's going to take a lot out of you, and that really showed tonight. When you combine that with the fact that in the first game, McKinnon was injured early in the game, and in separate stretches of the game, you also had Rantanen go down the tunnel and Andrighetto trying to shake off a hand injury. So it's easy to see why all of the forwards were pretty gassed tonight. The one position where the Avs did have a rested player in was goaltender, and Varley got off to a quick start, looking pretty good early, and then 5 minutes in, the Avs get a power play. On that power play, they get no shots on goal and very little offensive zone time, and that pretty much set the tone for the rest of the first. Dallas starts dominating the possession. They're beating the Avs to every single puck and holding the puck in the offensive zone for significant time. During the first, the Avs do take a penalty but manage to kill it, but that doesn't help the momentum at all, and Dallas keeps pressing. Thanks in large part to Varley, the Avs do manage to keep the score even at 0-0 through the first, but the Avs themselves put up just 9 shot attempts, and the actual shots on goal were 14 for Dallas and just 4 for the Avalanche. And you watch that period and you go, man, we were lucky to get out of that even. For us to have any chance in this game, we have to come out in the second with legs and keep up with this Dallas team and start putting on some pressure of our own. That doesn't happen at all. Just 30 seconds into the second period, Dallas gets the first score of the game. The Avs are on the breakout. Andrighetto has the puck on the near boards here. Zadorov has decided to join the rush and jump out ahead on this one. That does create a 4-on-3 situation for the Avs, but with Zadorov being the front man down the middle here, that means Andrighetto needs to make sure that this puck gets in deep because there's only one man back in the Avalanche's zone. He's going to try and throw a pass through the middle here. McKinnon is coming up through the middle, not expecting it. It's going to end up bouncing off of McKinnon's stick, then goes right to Dallas, and they're quickly up and out of the zone, creating a 2-on-1. From here, Johnson's going to play the pass, as you should for a defenseman in this situation, but it's Jamie Benn with the puck. And sometimes a high-end scorer like Benn is just going to beat your goalie. That's exactly what happens. And whatever was said in the locker room during intermission, that pretty much kills it. The Avs spend the first 5 minutes of the second flatlining possession, getting 0 shot attempts. Of course, that's mainly due to the fact that they end up taking 2 penalties that do overlap for 1 minute and 30 of 5-on-3 time for Dallas. By some miracle, they actually managed to kill both the penalties and keep the score 1-0. But again, that plays into the tired factor. Now they've had to use a ton of energy on this penalty kill instead of trying to create offense, and everything is starting to compound on itself at this point. For the majority of the second, there really isn't a ton to talk about. The Avs aren't generating very much. They do get 1 power play and do nothing with it. On the other side, Dallas is still dominating the possession, but they're doing a little bit less with it, not driving quite so many pucks to the net. With 5 minutes left in the second, the Avs finally start getting a little offense going. They seem to get a couple of good chances, but can't quite finish to find the equalizer. So it remains 1-0, and then the Avs go on to the power play, and the power play completely destroys their momentum. They don't get anything going on it at all, and in fact, as soon as it ends, they take a penalty of their own, putting Dallas on the power play for the last minute of the period. And just when you think you're going to escape this period being just down 1, nope. Compher is in a battle for the puck here with Jamie Benn along the boards. They're going to get tangled up, and a lot of people are looking for a penalty here. It maybe could have been, but that's not really why this goal happened. As they go up the boards, Compher's going to get taken down, and the puck is going to bounce out. It's going to come right to Gabe Landeskog. He bounces it off his skate right on his stick. This is an opportunity to clear. He fails to get rid of it fast enough as Ben has his stick in there as well and gets it on it. Then it bounces down to Johnson. Johnson's going to receive it right on his stick on the backhand. Notice there's only 4 seconds left in the period. Basically, all he has to do is not throw this puck right into Jamie Benn. That's exactly what he does. The puck ends up bouncing out and around onto a Dallas stick, goes across to Sagan, and Avs are down 2. That was pretty bad. Tired legs is not an excuse for dumb mental plays. You got to be smart enough to know the game situation and to just throw that puck anywhere where stars aren't. You don't have to try and get it out through a tiny pinhole. And with that goal, you could pretty much write the Avalanche off. You just hadn't seen enough from them to expect them to be able to come back from 2 goals in the third period. But I do have to give them a little bit of credit. They did come out in the third period and tried to make a push. Just a minute and a half in, they're going to make this score a 1-goal difference again. 2 quick and effective passes from the Avalanche are going to get them through the neutral zone and into the Dallas zone. From here, you have Wilson, who's going to get tripped up here, but do a great job staying with it and getting the puck back on his stick so he can get it back to Barrie coming across the blue line. From here, Barry's going to put on some fancy moves, makes a nice move to beat the Dallas player coming out to challenge him. That gives him a little bit of space to wait for Duchesne to come in, and Duchesne just picks a corner. That was a pretty goal, and it does get the Avs back in the game, but man, it would have felt a whole lot better if it was the tying goal and you hadn't given up a goal in the last second of the second period, wouldn't it? The immediate impact of the goal is Dallas pushing back heavily. They get a lot of chances, but Varley is standing strong in net, giving this team a chance to get some points out of this game. And then after they survive the flurry, the Avs do start pushing back some. The Avs even manage to draw a power play, which they again cannot score on, and they do get some good chances 5-on-5, but they can't quite seem to get it into the back of the net, whether they're not quite getting it all on a shot or Bishop is making a quality save against them. And so time winds down and you get within the last 5 minutes of the game and you can see the Avs just have nothing left. They start dumping pucks in and they're not able to keep up and get to them. Their passes aren't crisp. Everything they're doing has just gone to complete slop. Dallas ends up putting one into the empty net to seal the deal, and the Avs lose 3-1. So I'm pretty willing to chalk this up to being a young team and working so hard in the first game that you didn't have enough left for the second of this back-to-back. That is what it is. It's going to happen during the season sometimes. The major problem for me was all the penalties. That just kills you when you're already tired. And yeah, I get that when you're tired, you're going to end up taking more penalties because that's what happens when you make lazy plays. But when you take a penalty, now you have to exert more energy killing that penalty. Now you're even more tired, and it's all downhill from there. On the bright side, Duchesne was doing a lot of the heavy lifting in the third period for this one. It was clear he was out there trying to drag his team offensively to this victory, or at least try to get points out of the game. But there just wasn't a whole lot else going on in the top 6. McKinnon kind of went invisible in the third period. Rantanen had a good couple of opportunities that he couldn't make work for him, and he struggled quite a bit. I would have liked to see more out of Yakupov as well there, but the Avs just didn't have enough, and that's the end of it. So throw this one away. If you come out in the next game looking like you did against the Ducks, everything will be just fine. That is the end of this game video review. Thank you for watching. Just to touch on something really quickly, lately a couple people have been asking me if there's any way to donate to me, so I went ahead and put a donation link down below in the video description. If that's something you're interested in doing, great. I appreciate it a lot. If not, I want to reassure you that donating is absolutely unnecessary, and I'm going to continue doing this either way. If you do donate, all that money at this point will go into improving the videos, so thank you again. I'm Rudo3, and this season is still very young.